Cool. Okay, now a lighter question. You guys have a New Year's Eve show every year in New York, is that right?
Well,
wherever we end up this year. This year we're in a really interesting place. Actually, we're like, I believe technically it is actually the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's been defined as that point right there. Barely exists. It's right in the middle.
Yeah, it's sort of yeah, it's interesting. We're in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
On New
Well, not
Year's
in
Eve
New York
this
City,
year.
just in the middle of nowhere.
It's like in the middle of nowhere, but I'm starting to think it might be kind of fun.
I think it's going to be cool.
I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, because most definitely, like, whoever is making a trip there is making a trip there because they want to be there, and that's kind of exciting. Yeah.
Or desperate.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that happened. You know, we get a whole list of places that that we could potentially play, and then once again taking into account all the dangerous factors, the danger factors, that seemed to be the best place to be.
Would you ever play a New Year's Eve show in London?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we were ever asked.
Yeah, we played in Times Square.
If we could afford it.
We played in Times Square on the flip over the Millennium, actually, which was pretty exciting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. We were staring out the window of the 27th floor, looking down on the Times Square celebration, and just going, "Oh boy,
well, we got good seats.
Y2K's coming." We got great seats for the utter destruction of humanity. I mean, we were right above the epicenter, and we're like,
yeah, when I finished, the confetti cannons didn't go off, just like always. You know, man, it was all.
It was, yeah, it wasn't very exciting.
Now, you guys have a very long career, and you've had one breakup. But you're still together, and you've been here for like 24, 25 years?
24 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were part-timers until 95. We didn't,
getting our game on.
we didn't do this, we couldn't earn a living doing this until around 95. And then, that was really a strange turning point, because it was always like, well, I play in a band and I'm a bartender, or I play in the band and I do whatever, and then it was like, wow, what do you do for a living? I play in a band, and it felt as though we were flying without a net at that point, which was really kind of scary at first.
Are you surprised at how far you've come in those last 15 years?
Yeah, I think fear is an incredible motivator. when you get your chance and you finally have the ball, it's like you better put your head down and keep running as hard as you can until you finally get knocked over. And so far we've been pretty lucky. And it swings up and down all the time. I mean, you're always going to have times where you have hits and times where you don't have hits, and it's better when you do have hits, really. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah, and John, you've also been, in 2008, you were put into the
Songwriters Hall of Fame, yeah.
How did you find that?
I loved that. I thought that was one of my, we've been nominated for Grammys four times, and but being recognized by a group of your peers, that was really, really special. I don't really consider, the RIAA or whoever decides who's going to win the Grammy, that's just, it is what it is. It'd be nice, but we were nominated 4 times, and it was great.
It was an honor.
It was an honor just to be nominated. That's really what matters.
You get really good at saying that after,
Yeah, obviously you guys always had a lot of criticism, and a lot of people derided you.
Oh yeah, people. We were critics' darlings before we ever sold any records. And then as soon as you start selling albums, everybody's pointing a gun at your head. So it's like, whatever.
People might feel like deriding us, they should just call me personally, and I can give them a long list of people that deserve it way more than we do.
I'll do that one.
Just keep that in your pocket. Here, refer to this, please.
But we've also gotten a lot of really good press. I mean, it's interesting though, because there are a lot of music critics that don't don't like what we do, you know, and they just think it's sort of, you know, pappy and, you know. But it's interesting though, because we, you know, for the songwriting and all that kind of thing, it's like that's what we're sort of known for, is songwriting and that, you know, as well as being a really good live act, you know.
Yeah, it's tough to fill venues with music critics. So.
Yeah, so they don't buy albums, they don't buy tickets to shows, and most music writers don't even get paid anymore, because they're sort of becoming obsolete, because it's like, because the power of the internet is sort of causing this democratization, you know. It's like people look at iTunes and then they look at the reviews that the peers have, and that's how they decide what they're going to listen to, not, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you have actual access to the situation a lot more than you used to. You know, you used to have to rely on, you know, Rolling Stone to send a writer out to tell the rest of the world what this band who did 2 gigs sounded like. You don't have to do that anymore, because you can get everyone's opinion who was in the room. And then there are, you know, beginning to be, you know, venues that have developed who have good reputations, you know, are online right now, and the access is that fast. So that job changes dramatically at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think that it's fractured. You know, there are no specific leaders, you know, or tastemakers, you know, that really have massive influence anymore in print, you know. I think that that's fractured the concept of a mega artist has become so much more rare, because everybody has their own little niche, you know, that they enjoy this, and they sort of adapt their lifestyle, and the music has become an accessory to the outfit and the haircut and the.
It's one big circus now.
Yeah, you know, and it's everybody's very, you know, in their own little faction.
Speaking of that, also Steel Panther wrote a song, Death to All But Metal.
Yeah.
Oh, we were the first line. Fuck the Goo Goo Dolls, they can suck my balls. And we actually put a link on our website to that. And Mike knows those guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I told John he needs to go sing with them, because they'll allow him to come up anytime.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally
It's in LA.
Those guys are
They're actually really nice guys.
Obviously, it's totally tongue in cheek. Those guys are hilarious, though. Yeah.
They all wear wigs except for the lead singer, I think.
Yeah.
What happened with the singer?
Once they all wear wigs, they got haircuts like mine. All those guys, they all wear wigs.
Oh, like math teachers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, the Inner Machine is one of the best fan communities online. How important was it for you to create this? You guys have put a lot of exclusive content on there, and as a result, you kind of feel connected to the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like, I think the thing that I've seen the most from that is the relationships that have been built sort of outside of our participation. It's really pretty interesting. Like people who become friends and attend shows together, and, you know, end up, you know, significant parts of other people's lives, you know, because they met through this thing. It's cool.
That's the interesting thing, because we always meet people, especially women. We always meet women that are like, oh, we met on the Inner Machine and we became friends, and now we come to shows together. And it's like, wow, well, that's interesting, you know, that you're actually
an actual physical relationship.
You actually see each other, and that's your relationship.
Usually that's 10, 12 dates in these days.
Before you're ever in the room with your new friend.
I'm just gonna look at you on camera, make sure you're not too weird to actually be around. Yeah, no, I mean, it's, you know, it's great to see, and you know, I think there's a new industry, there's a new music industry building somewhere, and I think that feel of participation and, you know, that ability to reach out to your audience on whatever level they feel comfortable with, I think that's going to be a big part of it, you know, because some people don't require an awful lot from the bands and the music they listen to. Some people, it's that 2.5 minutes they happen to hear your song between work and you know, their home is all they will ever require of your band.
Yeah.
And that's great, you know, but on the other end, there's other people who really want to feel a part of it.
But it's cool. All that being said, and I agree with all that, you also have to really, really maintain some boundaries, you know, because you have a personal life, because it's personal.
Sure.
You don't need, you know, I don't want to share every moment of every day with the entire world. Why would they care? You know, it's unbelievable. You know, I'm having a sandwich for lunch. You know, it's like doing all these ridiculous 30 times a day.
Yeah.
Tweeting, it's ridiculous.
Robbie has a Twitter account though, doesn't he? Don't you?
Yeah, I do a couple a day, but you know, like I very rarely wake up and tell people, you know, the consistency of, you know, my morning dump, like a lot of people seem to. You know, some people really feel like, you know, that's something that they really need to share with the world.
Needs to know. Yeah.
You know, but for some people it works, man. You know, like we just played with the Roots in Philadelphia not too long ago, and so I kind of added some of their things, and I was watching, and like that guy, Questlove dude, like I mean, he lives out there, man, and like there's 1.5 million people who like look at what he does every day. That's something. It's something different than what we subscribe to, but that's something. It's like, you know, they really feel part of his life, and if you are able to do that, it's pretty interesting. I don't think I would like that to be that way, but
yeah,
you know, it's pretty.
It can be pretty, you know. Yeah, I mostly want people to know me in as far as like what I write, what I say in my music. You know, I don't really believe anybody has a right to know much more.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
And two, I think as a person, you really need to have some sort of boundary between like what you do for a living and what people perceive you as through your music,
air of mystery as well,
and who you actually are for your own sanity.
Sure.
You know, and I think that sometimes that wall falls down, and that really makes for a potential asshole, you know, to develop. I think, you know, because you start to believe the hype, and
Sure.
yeah.
One last question. You guys toured with Boyce Avenue, who are big fans of you guys, and they've also covered a few of your songs. What was it like touring with them?
We only did 3 shows of them, I think.
Yeah,
Short.
yeah.
They were kind of did some fill-in dates in Florida.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they won a contest that we had online through one of our fan sites, and so that's where we discovered them at first and met up with them, and they're actually really cool guys, and ended up working with Paramore as management, and you know, actually got a little bit of a bump from, you know, that thing we did with them, so it's kind of cool.
Totally, because they played here earlier this week as well.
Oh, really?
They tweeted to you guys, hey, we just missed you.
Oh, that's
They're a good band. They're a good band, and they're good guys.
Yeah, good dudes.
And Ryan Cabrera's actually supporting them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you've worked with Ryan, haven't you?
Is supporting them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Man.
Wow.
Man, it's it, man.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, the album that I produced for him was that went platinum. You know, but that was also 8 years ago, 9 years ago. It's really long time.
Crazy.